So in today's video, we'll talk about what is mutual funds, should we invest in mutual funds, what are the types of mutual funds, finally in what mutual funds am I investing in. Hi, I'm Samved and you're watching Chat with SK. So what are mutual funds? Mutual funds are basically a bucket of stocks. Right now, why do we need mutual funds is you might want to invest your money, but at the same time, you're not sure in which stocks to invest because there are various reasons. You might not have enough time to research the stocks, or you might not really be interested in researching stocks, but you still want to invest, right? So, what you can do is you can hire an XYZ person, aka fund manager, and what he'll do is he'll buy stocks on your behalf. Now, obviously, there will be a little expense or a commission that he would require for doing this, and hence your money will grow. So to understand that in a layman terms, let's assume you want to go to a party and you want to take some flowers with you for the person who's hosting that party, but you don't know that that particular person loves which kind of flowers. So what you can do is either you can pick yourself 5 different random flowers, or what you can do is you can just say to the flower person that you can make a bouquet and then just give it to me. So now you have a higher probability of taking that particular flower that someone might love. So similarly, once you want to invest, right, your money, instead of buying one or two stocks because you might not have been able to research or you do not want to research, you can buy a mutual fund. Now it will have a pool of stocks, and hence your chances of growth or being or participating in the growth of a particular stock might increase. Another reason is there are certain stocks listed on National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange that are at a very high price. For example, let's talk about Pay Industries. That is around 32,000 rupees, right? Now you might not have that amount of money to buy in for a particular stock, but you still want to be the part of the growth of that particular company. So you can do it via mutual fund. Mutual fund can start with an investment as low as 500 rupees. Right, so you can invest in that mutual fund. Mutual fund will in turn invest your money into that particular stock. This is how mutual fund works. But now this is just a basic understanding of mutual fund. There are certain technical terms in this. That is NAV, net asset value. Then there is expense ratio. Then there is exit load. Then there's portfolio. Then there's other stuff as well. Right, so we'll understand them one by one. Right, and by the end of this video you'll be able to know what a mutual fund is, what are different types of mutual funds, and in which fund you should invest in, and in which fund am I investing. Right, so do like the video if you're enjoying it up until here and you support me in this journey. Right, so let's start with this particular thing called an NAV. Right, so this is the page what you're seeing here. This is a page basically on ticker tape, and it's an example of a particular mutual fund. Now you'll see a lot of information over here, right? You'll see an expense ratio over here. You'll see this particular chart for NAV. This is called net asset value. Then you'll see a Sharpe ratio. Then you'll see a PE ratio, and so on and so forth, right? There's a lot of information. Then there's information about fund manager. Then there's information about portfolio and all those stuff, right? So now how do we process all this, right? So to process all this, let's talk about the first thing, that is a net asset value. Now wherever you go on to search about NAV, what's an NAV of a mutual fund, you'll get a definition as assets minus liabilities divided by the total number of units that they have floated in the market. But this is a little bit tougher for someone who has just started the journey of investment to understand. So let me put that into layman terms. What exactly NAV is? NAV is nothing but the buying value of one unit of that particular mutual fund. To understand it better, let's assume you went to a fruit market. Now you want to buy apples. How do you buy apples? Do you say give me 5 apples? No, you say give me 1 kg of apple, or say half kilogram of apple, right? But the basic value of those apples is 1 kg is, let's say, for 120 rupees. So the smallest amount that you can buy is, let's say, half kg. So you need to spend a minimum amount of 60 rupees to buy that particular half kg of apples. Similarly, for buying one unit of mutual fund, you need to give X amount, and this particular X amount is called the NAV, or the net asset value. So for example, if an NAV of a particular mutual fund is, say, let's say 10 rupees, so and if you have 100 rupees with you, you can buy 10 units of that particular mutual fund. I hope that is clear to you. Now moving on to the what is the expense ratio. Expense ratio is basically the commission that you're paying to that particular fund manager, or basically the owner of this particular mutual fund as a operating income, right? Because they need to hire different fund managers, they need to pull in money, they have a lot of expenses, right? So they need to incur their expenses, so they'll obviously take it from you. So how these expense ratio work is basically by reducing your NAV up from time to time. So let's assume if you have an NAV of 100 rupees going on, and if the expense ratio is, let's say, 1%, right? That's nominal, right? 1% expense ratio. So after an year, if there's no change in the mutual fund, the NAV would be 99 rupees, right? This is how usually the expense ratio works. This is a very crude way to explain, but I hope you get the picture. Then there's a third term called exit load. So this is a very good thing to understand, and most of us miss out on this. So exit load is basically the extra amount of money that you'd have to pay in case you sell a particular mutual fund early, right? By early I mean, so each mutual fund define an exit load. Let's say there's an exit load of 2%, right? There's an exit load of 2% if you sell any mutual fund less than 3 months, right? So let's say you bought it on 1st of January, but you sell it before 1st of March, right? So now what will happen is you'll be charged 2% of your NAV, net asset value, as an exit load, right? If you keep it more than that or more than 3 months, you won't have to pay anything extra. This is the basic idea of NAV, expense ratio, and exit load. In case you have any questions on that, do comment below. I'll try to answer them either in the next video or in the comment itself, because these topics are itself a one video topic to explain how NAV works in detail, how exit load works, or how expense ratio works. Now comes the interesting part, which is the what type of mutual funds exist in the stock market. So basically there are two types. There are a lot of types, but the main classification what I like to understand is two types: active and passive mutual funds, right? It's exactly what they sound like. So I will first talk about the passive mutual funds. So passive mutual funds are basically what where they follow an index. Now if you've watched my previous video, you'll know what a Nifty 50 index is. In case you haven't watched it up until yet, you can check the link out and you can then watch it. So basically it tracks an index, right? It tracks an index. It means that, for example, you have invested in a particular index fund, let's say Nifty 50 index fund. That's a passive mutual fund. What it will do is it will just replicate the changes or the delta of the Nifty 50. So let's say in 1 year Nifty 50 rose up by 30%, or let's say it got depleted by 20%. So the similar change would be seen in your mutual fund, right? If you invest 1,000 rupees and if the Nifty 50 index went up by 20%, almost you will also gain 20% around that in your 1,000 rupee investment. That's a passive mutual fund. Now, why is it called passive? Is because it replicates the Nifty 50 index or any index, right? So usually you won't have to change the number of all the particular stocks in that much. It is just having the stocks that Nifty 50 has. So let's say Nifty 50 has 50 stocks. It will have all those 50 stocks in different arrangement, and hence you'll know what are all your stocks are invested in, and that is never changed much. So fund manager has to do a very little amount of work, hence it has a very low expense ratio, right? And hence if returns are good, these gives usually decent returns. But the point over here is, as it is less risky, because in general the stock market grows, right? In general the stock market grows over here. So for long-term perspective, this is one of the safest investments in the stock market. Investing in a passive mutual fund like Nifty 50 index fund, Bank Nifty index fund, right? Or Nifty IT index fund. These are very safe, considered safe investments as compared to active mutual funds. Reason being, they are less risky. They are directly tracking the Nifty 50 index, the indexes. And obviously, they are only tracking or having in the good large cap stocks. We'll talk about what large cap and mid cap stocks are later in some other videos. So this is about the passive mutual funds. Now talking about the active mutual funds, they are basically a category of mutual funds, right? Wherein the rotation of stocks in a particular mutual funds is a little bit fast, or it's a little bit more active as compared to the passive mutual fund. Now what do I mean by this is, let's assume there's a bouquet in a particular shop. Let's call that bouquet XYZ. Now that is a mutual fund basically, right? So now this bouquet, now the shopkeeper keep this one bouquet. It's a passive one that always has one rose, one lily, one lotus in that. Like that's always there. That's one bouquet, and that's typically priced at XYZ rupees. Now there's another bouquet which is kind of a dynamic bouquet. So once it has one rose, two lilies, one lotus. Sometimes it has more sunflowers, sometimes it has something else, right? So the fund manager keeps on rotating it as per the needs. So that's what happens in an active mutual funds. The fund manager keeps on rotating a particular stock, right? It keeps on rotating a particular stock depending upon the growth he sees in a particular segment of this of the stock market. Now there can be some active funds like active mutual funds which track the small cap stocks, some track mid cap stocks, some track large cap stocks, some only track the banking sector, some track the oil and gas sector, some track the FMCG sectors, right? So depending upon that, it changes the stocks. Now, since this change is a much more frequent than passive funds, the fund manager have to do more work. Hence, usually the active mutual funds have higher expense ratio. Also, since these all the stocks are handpicked and these are rotated, they are a little bit risky, and hence sometimes the returns might be higher than the normal passive funds. Now we know active mutual funds and now we know passive mutual funds. So where should you invest your money, right? So passive mutual funds are right for those investors who wants to play safe in the market and still want a decent returns. For those who can accommodate a little more risk in their portfolio and want a little more growth in their investments, can go for the active mutual funds. Right now, let me show you some examples of what active and passive mutual funds are. Right. So again, we'll go over ticker tape. Right. You can check out any of the websites like moneycontrol.com or ticker tape, whatever you like. It's not a sponsored video again. So we'll just go over certain mutual funds. Again, these mutual funds I'm showing are just for educational purpose. This complete video is for educational purpose, and we're not giving any investment advice. Please do your own due diligence over this, right? So as you can see, this is an active small cap mutual fund. This is an active mutual fund, right? Because it is tracking the small cap stocks. What small cap are, what medium cap are, what large cap are, all will all be covered in the coming videos. Don't worry about that. But let's say small cap funds, right? So usually the fund size is quite large because assets under management, or we call as AUM, which is again a very good thing to know, is 7095 crore. That means total this amount of money these people are managing in. So the higher the someone is managing in, that means the more popular that particular mutual fund is. It does not mean it's a good or a bad mutual fund, but it means that how the much more experience or more people are into that particular thing, right? Again, it's a very high risk because obviously usually the active funds are a little higher on the risk factor, as I told you, because they have a usually a higher return rate, right? So you see here there is CAGR of 23%, right? Which is pretty high, and the reason being in the last 1 year it has done tremendously well, right? Because in the last year it gave us around 80% returns. Right now, 80% returns are pretty high, but that is because all the small cap industries have grown by large. You should not be expecting this amount of results for long term investments, right? It's usually between 14 to 15%, which is considered good. So let's go to see whatever we talked about, right? So first we talked about the expense ratio. It has a 0.9% expense ratio, which is very less. Given that the expense ratios of an active mutual funds are higher, this is a lower expense ratio, right? It can even go up to as high as 2.5%. Another is the PE ratio. This is a whole new topic for me to explain what PE ratio is, right? So today we'll not talk about, but you can just learn over some of the sources. I'll mention the link in the description of what PE is, but let's skip this for now. I'll definitely cover this in the coming videos. Now there's exit load of 3%. So now let's see what this particular 3% is, right? So if you see over here 3% on or before 6 months, that means if you invest your X amount of money and then exit or sell those units of mutual fund before 6 months, you'll be charged 3%. For if you sell between 6 months and 12 months, you'll be charged 2%, and between 12 months and basically 1 year and 2 years, you'll be charged 1%. Right? After 2 years, you can sell without any exit. Right? Minimum lump sum is you should be investing 5,000 minimum. right? And the benchmark is Nifty Small Cap 100 TRI. So that is all the information. In case you want to see returns, you can see if you made 5,000 investment for 3 years, you'd have invested 1,80,000. Returns would have been 92,000 rupees, given 51% return, which is given. Like CAGR 30% is there, and you'll have over surplus. This is all fine. Don't get into this. Usually we get return of 10 to 15%. That is what we should expect at max, right? Another thing is fund manager. Obviously, you should know about fund managers. What in the past have they experienced, right? What in the past, what all mutual funds have they ran for, and for how long? What was the return rate of that particular mutual fund, and all those things, right? Let's see some passive mutual funds as well. So let me go to let's say Nifty 50 index fund. So SBI Nifty index fund is there, right? Now this is a passive one. So now see, the expense ratio is extremely less. It's a 0.17%. The exit load, let's see what's the exit load. It's 1% before 7 days. So after 7 days, you won't have to pay anything. You can sell it out on free. Minimum SIP that you can do is 500 rupees. You can start an investment with just 500 rupees. Even if you're making just 5,000 a month, at least you can save 500 rupees and invest in here, right? So the reason I want you to invest your money is, let's say, even if you consistently invest just 500 rupees for 3 years, right, in this particular thing, you would have invested 18,000 and you would have got 22,000. It's still better than just getting 18,000, right? So you'd have good amount of money as per this. And you can see total AUM is insane, right? It's insane. 4,11,000 crores, right? Sorry, 4,11,000 crores is what is the sum of amount of money that these people are handling. Another good thing that you can see over here is the portfolio, right? So how much they are investing in which sector. So you see they are investing 23% in the private banks, right? They're investing in IT, 18% in IT and services. In oil and gas, they're investing 10%. In home finance, they're investing this much percent. You go to current holdings, you can see what amount of money that you invest. Let's say you invest 100 rupees. So 9 rupees of food, it would go in Reliance, 9 rupees would go in HDFC Bank, 8% would go in Infosys, 6% would go in HDFC, and so on and so forth. Right, so this was about this, and now comes the fun part. Like I'm giving you so much gyan on you should invest in mutual funds and all this stuff. So am I investing in mutual funds or not? So yes, I definitely am investing in mutual funds, and I would like to show in which particular mutual funds am I investing in, for how long I have been investing in, and so on and so forth. You can see over here I have invested 10,000 in Axis Small Cap Fund, as I was previously showing you, 10,000 in Motilal Oswal Nifty Bank Index Fund, and then in Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund. So why I chosen this, how to choose a mutual fund out of so many mutual funds, what have I done, why have I invested just 10,000 rupees, everything of this is something which I would talk in the coming videos, right? You won't have to worry about it. But you can see it's an SIP over here in these two, in Parag Parikh and this. And if you see why I've invested, let's view this fund page. This is an interesting mutual fund. Again, this is not an investment advice. Do your own due diligence. It's just for educational purpose, right? So as you see, its expense ratio is 0.87. Quite high in whatever I've shown from in the previous reels. But again, this is a very old mutual fund. You can see it started in 2013, right? And it has given, since then, in 5-year return, it has given 23%, which is insane, which is good, right? Now it does not only have Indian stocks but also the US stocks, right? So it has 8.5% holdings in Alphabet Inc, Bajaj Holding Investments is 8.41%, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and all these stocks, right? All big companies. So this is something which I'm very bullish about, that this will grow again in the coming years. This is gonna go. The NAV is 52, right? And this will grow with time. So this is something. This is for basically for a long-term investment perspective, right? So this was about all about mutual funds. If you have any queries, feel free to post that in the comments and let me know whatever you guys feel about those videos. If anything is in particular you want me to share, do comment below. Do share this video with all your friends, right? Everyone needs to be more and more educated about finances, personal financing and investments, right? And do share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. I'll be coming up with video every week. I'll try to at least. I hope this was useful. So till then, take care, stay safe, bye.
lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the